Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, I think so. Good morning. I got to follow the harmonica, so sorry about that. Won't be quite as exciting potentially, but it's going to be much more important to you all, I would imagine. So the name of the pitch, changing the landscape without changing the definition. A little bit heavy for early in the morning, first thing here, right? I mean, what does that mean? Everybody's probably looking at this for days when you're coming to the conference. I mean, what does that mean, right? Well, let's start with the definition of cloud. What is cloud computing? That I think we can all agree on. Cloud computing, you see the definition there, right? That doesn't change. That's accepted. That's that's coming from Wikipedia, right? But what is changing the landscape? I think when we talk about cloud computing, I think most of you probably what comes to mind is multi-tenant, right? Virtual machines. That's what you think of. Well, that's where I'm here to tell you that the landscape is changing, and we're changing it. You just heard Lance Crosby. I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes SoftLayer different and the bets that IBM is making on cloud to become the leader, right? So I'll come back to the point on how we're changing the landscape. What investments is IBM making on the cloud to become the leader, right? Just this year, we made the SoftLayer acquisition last year. Just this year, you see, we started off the year with a $1.2 billion investment to expand the global footprint. We're going from 13 data centers of SoftLayer to 40 beginning of next year. We're going to have a data center here in India beginning of next year. We're expanding very quickly. You see announcements there from Bluemix. You see announcements around Direct Link. We enhanced our business partner programs, very important move that we made. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. That's how you monetize this, right? How we partner together for you to make money and work with us. Very important. We did that in April, and we continue to work to enhance that program. You see the other announcements around big data. So continuing to enhance the portfolio, continue to grow this, continue to make it so that we have more, as enterprises adopt the cloud, we give them more options for doing exactly what they want to do. So they're not tied down to that multi-tenant environment that has been the norm in some of our competitors, right? So what is the bet with SoftLayer? Here's basically the cloud portfolio for IBM. SoftLayer is the catalyst for what we're doing on the cloud. So we start with the infrastructure as a service layer, and that's where SoftLayer comes in. And we still have our managed services on top of that. We're still building that part of it, but we still have, and we're building then the next layer up, the platform as a service, Bluemix. We're continuing to enhance and develop our software as a service portfolio, and we're going, and over the next few months and over time, we're going to continue to bring on business process as a service enhancements there. So you see, SoftLayer makes our company more approachable, makes the value more discoverable and more engaging, and it's the foundation of everything that we're doing on the cloud. Okay? So let me talk a little bit about managed services. There we go. Managed services. We continue to have, if an enterprise requires it, we continue to have and we'll continue to come up with and announce enhancements to our managed services portfolio. So that's available, right? We've got, if you need a managed application from SAP, managed SAP, managed Oracle, whatever, we've got that in our portfolio. That's our what used to be formerly called the SCE Plus. We continue to have that and we continue to enhance it, right? It's designed for cloud-enabled enterprise-class workloads, and it will continue to be there and enhanced, okay? So that's a very important part of our portfolio. And now we're transitioning and moving it and building it further on SoftLayer. Bluemix. Bluemix, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Bluemix, but I think I saw some of the posters around. Basically, platform as a service, right? Developers no longer have to mess with middleware infrastructure, right? They pull their code in, and they have all the all the services that they need in there so that they can just dedicate their time to coding and don't need to worry about messing with the infrastructure aspect of it, right? So, you know, Bluemix was a big announcement this year, and you know, and of the portfolio, right? So, again, what are we talking about here? You see, building on it, making it more, increasing the performance, improving the performance, making it more enterprise ready, and making it so that enterprises can go to market faster and have the performance that they need, right? So in line with that, we're also for our partners, we have the marketplace coming up, right? And that's it's still in beta. It's still being developed. It's being rolled out first in the United States, going to Europe soon. So look out for the marketplace. You can find out some more information. It's not quite in this part of the world yet, but it's basically going to be it's going to give the capability to solution partners to have their solutions out there to go to market, and it's a capability that will allow you to have more market reach and work with us on that for SoftLayer, Bluemix developed solutions. Okay? So now, how are we changing the landscape? Pick any publication, any statistic that you want, or any projection that you see about the market, and everything says that the cloud is taking off, right? Cloud is taking off. You know, you see 152 billion will be spent on cloud services. You know, all kinds of statistics that show you. You can pick whichever you want, and you know, you see the same news everywhere. I'm not bringing news to you here on this one, right? So the market for this growth, in order to drive this growth, the market required a change. You can't do this all on virtual machines. You can't do this all in multi-tenant environments. You need a broader selection of options, so more options to run to create the environment that you want to create, right? So the market was asking for it, and SoftLayer brought it, right? You heard the message from Lance there in the beginning video, right? SoftLayer started from the point of view of the customer, right? It didn't start as, you know, some of our competitors that started from the point of view of their business, what they had available, and then what could they market out of what they were using. No, it came at it from the point of view of what can companies use and how would companies use infrastructure. And with that, you see here that we've got options from bare metal configurations, right? You've got 300 plus virtual configurations. We have those as well, of course. And you have, you know, dedicated security appliances. You've got, you know, direct link connections. You've got a whole, you know, the whole breadth of options that are necessary to run private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, whatever you need. You run it the way you want to run it, the way you need to run it, and the way you need to scale it for enterprise-ready applications. That's what this is all about, right? So that's where we're changing the environment, right? Or the landscape, right? So it's all about giving the client the choice to run the infrastructure they need to run or they want to run. So the market was asking for this change. Now, how is SoftLayer different? Okay, global reach, right? Again, mentioned at the beginning. We have our own global network, our own pipe. We have data centers all over the world. We're expanding. You see already I included the India data center here. You basically have, you know, reach all over the world, and you have a global network, and you can move the data between those data centers. You can move data from Singapore to Dallas to Amsterdam. You can move it all over the world, and it's included in the cost of the service. No charge for moving data within the private network. So you can move your computing power and your storage closer to where your end users are. Very important for companies that are multinationals doing business in a lot of different countries. Very important. No charge. Okay? Very different from our competitors. Data center pod design. Every data center in SoftLayer has the same design. You will find the same thing in that network that you saw on that last slide. You will find the same design of the pod in Dallas that you'll find in Singapore, that you'll find in Hong Kong, in Tokyo, and that you'll find here in India beginning of next year. So, you know, every pod is about 10,000 square feet of 10,000 square feet. You know, they all have their own generator, about between 4,000 and 5,000 physical nodes. They all have their firewalls, load balancers, and storage. So what does this mean? It means consistent performance, right? It means easier to control. It means transparency for you. You can go down even to the when you go into the management of the infrastructure. You can go down to the serial number of the machine that you're running, the server. You can even see you can go down to that level of control, transparency. It's all there. So we said global network, data center pod design. Third point, give me a second. Third point, the triple network architecture, right? Every host has two private network, two public network, and two management network entries, right? Entry points. So what does this mean? It means that no matter what happens, you could have trouble with your private network, you could have trouble with your public network, you never lose access to your server. You can always control your server. You can always reboot, you can always go in there, you never lose control. So very important in terms of performance, in terms of latency, in terms of control. You never lose control, no matter what happens in the other parts of your infrastructure, right? So again, speed and performance. Those are the keys here, and that's what SoftLayer is trying to bring with the choice for you to run it however you want to run it. Okay? So what does this all translate into? So you see the graph on the top. This is actual data collected by an independent company that did a study. The top graph is actually performance from one of our major competitors, right? And this is the performance that was graphed on various workloads running on their infrastructure, right? You see some pretty good performance. If the stars align, you can get over 6,000 ops per second there, right? Look at the SoftLayer performance in the bottom, right? When you have the data center pod consistent throughout, you have the global network, and you have the network, you can get the performance, the performance consistency that you need to run your enterprise-grade applications. Performance consistency, very important for the enterprise, right? So again, with this layout, with this infrastructure, with this consistent performance, you can run whatever workload you need to run, whether you're a gaming company, a financial institution, science, whatever you're doing, metrics, adaptive algorithms, machine learning research, big data, whatever you need, you bring it on the infrastructure and you can run it and you can be assured that you're going to get the performance that you need out of the infrastructure, right? So as you all go and talk to your enterprise customers, this is what SoftLayer brings to the table, right? This is what you can have behind you as you go talk to your customers, okay? One other little tidbit here of something interesting that I thought I would share with you all. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Docker. Anybody? Good, excellent. Very interesting, very fantastic company. And essentially what they do is Linux containers. Linux containers are little like mini virtual environments, right? And what they do is essentially once you've Dockerized your application, it's essentially got its own virtual environment, and then you can load it onto the server and run it, but you don't need to spin up a whole new virtual machine. You don't need to worry about that. That means you can have it up and running, very quickly, right? So IBM and SoftLayer have announced that SoftLayer will be hosting the Docker Hub, right? So there's over 14,000 applications that have been Dockerized and are available for companies to bring on, and they're going to be hosted on SoftLayer. Very interesting, and it's all about speed, right? So again, this is the concept here is we're providing companies the choice. We want to give you the choice to run what you want to run, how you want to run it, with performance, with speed, and with transparency to be able to do to see exactly what you're running, right? But performance and speed. So, very important question for everybody here, right? How do we make money? How do we make money? How do we make money off of this? How do we benefit from this, right? So, I mentioned before, we announced our business partner program, our business partner program enhancements at the beginning of the year, right? And our business partner program enhancements basically center around three things. We want to enable our partners to make money with us, right? We want to help our partners build skills so that you can be self-sufficient and benefit from this. And we want to work with our partners to drive demand together. Okay? So those are the three key components of our partner programs, right? And there's two options here in that we have for partnering. We have a referral program, which is essentially a program where you bring us a lead and we pay you. We pay you a fee. Essentially, it's a 10% commission the first year, 8% commission the second year, 6% commission the third year if we close the lead. So that's one option for partnering. If you're not interested in acquiring the infrastructure and building something on it or whatever, you don't want to get into the infrastructure aspect of it, you bring us the leads, we'll close them, we'll pay you for that, right? So that's one option for partnering. The second option for partnering is the Services and Solution Provider Program. Okay? And this program is essentially a discount-based program. We provide you a discount depending on the volume of business that you do with us. So we provide you that discount, and you provide the level 1 support, and you're responsible for managing the relationship with your clients. So it's a lot of people call it a reseller program. It's not really a reseller program. It's essentially for companies that want to build a solution or something on top of SoftLayer to go to market, and that's what the program is for. Okay? So those are the two options. Let me talk a little bit about the three components, right? Making money. So the discount tiers. These are the discount tiers that we have within the Services and Solution Provider Program, right? So depending on how much you consume per month, you get, starting at $1,500, you get 5%, and these are the enhancements that we made this year. You see that we added 2 tiers there at the bottom, right? 17.5% starting at $25,000, and over $100,000, you get a 20% discount, right? So this is how we're helping you monetize and make money off of this with SoftLayer. The next point. One of the key points that we hear from our partners, in fact, I heard it this morning, is the importance of helping you all build your skills, right? And that's part of what my 20 or 25 minutes that I've been speaking here, part of what that was all about is telling you about SoftLayer. We obviously this is a very high level presentation, telling you about the network, telling you about the performance. We go into security, we go into all the different aspects of the architecture. We have enablement that's available. It's available on the web for all of you to learn with a series of 9 webinars that are available. Okay. So we have 9 webinars available right now. We're working on the development of the next set of webinars that are going to be available for all of you to help. And we also have classes that are labs that are being delivered all over the world. We're executing them now for third quarter. We have a schedule also for fourth quarter. You see there, the schedule for the U.S. We'll be coming here to the Asia Pacific region. We have a class that's going to be scheduled in Korea. We're working on the dates. Bangalore, Pune here in India, Taiwan, but also in Europe. So we're going to continue to build on this and continue to help with the skills building aspect of the program to help you all develop that, right? So again, discount and enablement. And the final point, which I don't have a slide on, is the demand generation. We have funds available as part of the program once we start working together to help build that demand together, right? So we can put money on the table. We also have recently made available the SoftLayer trademark built on SoftLayer, and we continue to do programs and continue to have events, like for example, the data center launch events that we do all over the world. Every time we launch a data center, we bring our business partners to be there and to participate in data center launch events, and those are good opportunities for our business partners to get some visibility. So we've got a lot of different options and opportunities and ways for partners to work with us, make money, and develop, right? So they asked me to finish with a call to action here, and then open up for some questions. And I really wanted to leave a little bit of time for questions for you guys, right? So it goes back to those 3 points, right? So call to action. I encourage you all to either get in contact with your local IBM rep to put you in contact with the SoftLayer team, and take advantage of our program. Take advantage of our discount, right? Take advantage of what we have to offer. Second point, build your skills, right? Probably second point comes before the first. Learn about SoftLayer. Okay? Go on the website. Take the webinars. They're 1 hour. You can learn more. It's SoftLayer. They're called SoftLayer Fundamentals, and they're very good, and they give you a good idea of what it is. And again, we're going to continue to build on it. Or speak again to your local teams and get involved and go to the labs, and that goes a little bit deeper in 2 days with a very good training session. So build your skills. Learn about SoftLayer. And the third, once we've done these two, let's work together to drive demand. So, I really encourage you to go and speak to your local reps, learn about SoftLayer, and with that, I want to open it up for some questions. Any questions?
If you have any questions, please put your hand up. A mic will come around. Identify yourself and ask a question, please.
So thanks a lot for sharing all this information. So for the cloud, when the data is residing there, do we have full transparency and we know exactly where the data is, in which data center, and exactly where?
You have full control of the data. We don't see it, right? We provide you the infrastructure. You run your data and you control your data. We have no access to your data. Once we give you access to your server, you get access to your server. We don't have access to it, right? And then you control the data, where it is, where you want it to be, and how you move it.
Even when the backups are taken and all that stuff?
Everything. You control it. It's all under your control.
Okay.
We don't touch it.
Okay, thank you.
I was trying to relate this service with the Amazon. So is it the similar kind of services being provided by Amazon and the SoftLayer?
The comparison with Amazon?
Yeah.
First of all, SoftLayer has the bare metal. So we have, when I talked about, the virtual machines versus the more options that we give you, we have the bare metal option, which is basically you get a server. With us, you can get a server that you just get a dedicated server to run whatever you want to run on it. That's an option that Amazon doesn't have. The network, when I mentioned moving stuff in the network for free, Amazon charges you for that. So there's quite a few differences between what we do and what Amazon does. I mean, I'm not here to trash Amazon. Amazon's a great company, but there's a lot of difference, and I think we're very competitive. We have a very good advantage in technology, and I think our prices are very competitive when you look at the workload that you're running and what you want to deliver. I think from a scalability, global network, and technology perspective, I think we compare very favorably with Amazon.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. Is it working? Sorry. Yeah. In Amazon, generally we can make an account, and people in the organization they can play around with that, right? So can we have something here, and then all our teams can actually play around and see that how it works and all that.
Play around with the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So we don't really have like like a sandbox type of environment. We don't really have that. If you have a project, so we've got a lot of demos. We have the capability to do a lot of demos. We can show you how the infrastructure works. We can do a lot of that. If you have a particular workload that you want to test, we have capabilities to do some POCs, proof of concepts. So if you have a project, if there's something that you want to test, and we can do some testing and work together with you to do that, absolutely. So that you get a feel for what it is.
Okay, thank you.
I'm from CSC. I'm Ganesh.
Yes.
I have a question that is very similar to an extension to what has been asked before. You have 30-day free trials. You also have volume discounts.
Yes.
But you have partner-specific programs wherein, for a longer duration, we'll be able to validate and also bring up our competencies and skills around that soft layer and your cloud platform. And so that is something different or beyond your free trials and volume discounts. Do you have anything partner-specific packages and programs?
Yes, I mean, so I understand. The 30-day free trial is a very limited, capability, right? I mean, it's going to allow you to play around a little bit with the environment, but you're not going to be able to run any kind of a workload on the 30-day free trial. It's really just meant to just look around, right? So again, I mean, what we do have is we have a very good technical team that's dedicated to working with business partners. That if you need to, if you bring us something, we can work with you to figure out what's the right architecture that you need. How do you put it together? We can work together. If there's a good project, we can potentially work on doing some POCs. We've got some flexibility in the things that we can do. We just don't have a sandbox environment that's available out there for everybody to use. But we do have the capability to demonstrate the performance of the infrastructure in a lot of different ways that I think have proven very successful, frankly, all around the world. So we're happy to, if you have something that you want to test, anybody, bring it to us. We can have the discussion. We can work with you on putting that together. Absolutely.
Hello. Sorry, my name is Nitin. I'm from Infosys.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know, because it's going to be the private cloud, I wanted to understand the levels of the security which we are going to manage here.
Yeah. So the levels of security, I mean, basically, I mean, it depends what you're trying to do, right? That's why, I mean, it's very difficult. If we start getting into specifics of what you're trying to do, et cetera, then it is very difficult in a generic way for me to tell you. It really comes down to we can do different things depending on what workload you're trying to run, right? So that's why all the options that we have. You have, we have appliances. We have, different ways of doing security. And a lot of times it's also going to depend on what you want to put into your own security for your infrastructure. So again, it's basically, it's on our data center, but it's your infrastructure. We have a lot of options for helping you with the security. So yes, we can, again, if you want to get into specifics, we can talk more specifics. We can get some of our technical guys to talk specifics on it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Neil.